Hey, Shalom, Makim, Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem HaKadosh. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone that taught us His truth and also teaching His truth, and much peace, love, and salutation to the elect, beginning with 144,000, all the way down to the large multitude that believes, and who the Lord will deliver in these last days. To you all I say Shalom. I'm the brother Tazamah from the Great Millstone Dallas camp, coming back today with another lesson, and I pray this lesson will be edifying to the elect. And Shalom to you Akwath, or you few sisters that believe as well. Just wanted to do a quick lesson. This lesson's not going to be too long, but just report, all right, an Motb update. You know, and as you already know, all right, we're going to sound like a broken record, all right, time and time again here at Great Millstone whenever there's news, all right, on the mark of the beast, all right, that comes out. All right, our job as watchmen, all right, is to report on these things. All right, so when we see updates about brain implants and, you know, RFID microchip implants and things of that nature in the hand or in the head, the forehead, or in the hands, all right, our job is to call these things out and report on it. All right, not sit here and say it's a conspiracy theory and we're not going to speak on it. All right, no, these things are happening. All right, these things are happening, and it's happening right before your face. Everything is going digital. All right, and they're moving fast, as the scripture says in Revelation, the 12th chapter, that the devil shall come down with great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. All right, now this article, as you see here, it says U.S. brain implant company test apparent first in China. Okay, and these prophecies are speaking loud and clear, man, as it says in the book of Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter. All right, so what I want to do is I'm gonna play the AI playback as I'm driving so we can hear it. And Lord willing, you know, y'all can hear clearly. This is edifying.
AI playback is powered by Chrome.
The landscape for neural
AI playback is powered by Chrome.
The landscape for neural technology is shifting as a Cambridge startup begins testing in China.
Right. Ricky Scaparo reports that Axoft, a firm born out of Harvard, recently performed a temporary brain implant on a patient in Shanghai. This is a notable development because U.S. companies rarely disclose human testing partnerships within China.
What makes their specific hardware different from other brain-computer interfaces on the market?
They use a soft material called fluoron for their probes. So far, they have used these temporary implants in 11 patients. The company just secured $55 million in funding to expand these clinical trials and increase their manufacturing capacity.
You see, they've gotten $55 million in funding to expand their testing. So that it's not just going to be in China, it's going to be in other places too. Because remember, when the mark of the beast, all right, is made mandatory and they make it a law, it's not just going to be here in America. All right, it's going to be something that's going to be worldwide. That's why the scriptures talk about how the hour of temptation is going to come upon the world in Revelation, the third chapter, the 10th verse. See, it's going to be an hour of temptation and trying time, and man, we're close. We are extremely close for this prophecy coming to pass, and you see how fast, all right, the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Shai is on these devils to get this prophecy moving. And we hasten the day, man. We hasten for this to increase. We hasten the day for this prophecy to come to pass, because we know that once this prophecy is made mainstream, then it already is mainstream. But I rather say when this prophecy is implicated worldwide, we know that our salvation is near. You know, so far beyond that which we look for, man. We understand and we know that our salvation is right around the corner at that time. But let's continue.
Do we know if this Shanghai procedure was just a single trial or part of a larger strategy?
It appears to be a long-term plan. Chief Executive...
See that? It appears to be a long-term plan. It's not going to... You know, it's not just going to just be swept under the rug and they talk about it. Then it's not going to happen no more for years down the line. You're going to have another trial. No, this is a long-term plan. You know, Esau ain't about to just put his money into something just for no reason. You know, this is a long-term plan, and this goes into something that they plan on doing in the long term. Okay, because that's the end goal. That's the end goal of the elite, is to ultimately microchip you.
Paul LaFloche indicated they intend to enroll more Chinese patients and run multiple trials there throughout the year.
And a lot of these things, like I keep pausing, but a lot of these things that we see, like the surveillance state, the AI infrastructure, the social credit score, all these various different things that were the technocracy that we're seeing being established here in America. America is modeling their system off of China. They want to really try to surpass China when it comes to the whole AI digital infrastructure. So a lot of these things that we see happening in China is pretty much like a testing ground, if you will, for what they're getting ready to do over here. That's why you see America turning in more and more into a surveillance state, because China's already like that. You see, but they want to make America like China on steroids when it comes down to surveillance, when it comes down to biometrics, social credit scores, and things of that nature. All right, let's I think it probably already, we might have went back a little bit, but I'm gonna play it from here.
Strategy.
It appears to be a long-term plan. Chief Executive Paul Lafloche indicated they intend to enroll more Chinese patients and run multiple trials there throughout the year. While they are working with a local partner, the specific hospital and partner names remain confidential. This move positions them to scale their neural technology on a global level.
It will be important to see how
to scale their neural technology on a global level. Let's read that. Let's hear it again.
Remain confidential. This move positions them to scale their neural technology on a global level.
It will be important to see how these international partnerships influence the development of neural materials.
You see that? And this is going to be on a global level. Okay, so this prophecy is it's here. Okay, it's here. They're already doing it. They're already testing it. It's not no conspiracy. As you have these other camps that don't want to tell you what the mark of the beast is, and they change their stance on what the mark of the beast is. Here at Great Millstone, we've constantly told you, and we'll continue to tell you what it is, because ultimately we don't want the blood on our hands, man. And you're going to have a lot of guys that are going to have a lot of blood on their hands when this prophecy comes to pass, man, because it's already coming to pass. It's already taking place. It's already here. It just hasn't been made into law yet. But that's going to be the next thing. At first it'll be somewhat voluntary, and then they're gonna cause more polycrises to take place. Whereas for them to keep an eye on everybody, and for them to use the guise of safety and security, they're going to push forth draconian laws to make this law to make this into a law. And if you don't get it, it will be punishable. It will be a law punishable by death. We just seen that Donald Trump is instituting firing squads and pretty much old ancient capital punishment methods. Bringing back FISA, pretty much to monitor and track people's text messages and emails and phone calls without pretty much without any kind of warrant, for lack of better words. So it's already, the system's already set up. Again, they just need the right kind of crisis, the right event to take place for them to fully enact, their new world order. Because this is the end game. The end game is mass microchipping people, man. Okay. So I pray this lesson was edifying to the elect. Like I said, it wasn't going to be too long. Call hello Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Chakodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and also teaching this truth. And much peace, love, and salutation to the elect. Until next time, Lord willing, I say shalom.